Well, I don't know if you've had a chance to listen in, but we've got plenty of questions coming in. So welcome aboard, John.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good day, good night.
All right, John. Well, thanks for getting on. I'm so glad technology worked. Let's go to Nancy's question, because it's a sunscreens question. So, John, you get this one. Why are sunscreens so difficult? They're either too sticky or too white or too much silicone or too drying. What are some tips on preventing some of those things?
Yeah, sure. The first issue with sunscreens is that I would say they're probably the most difficult area of personal care to formulate to. So in my experience, you really have a kind of a conflict between elegance and the need to formulate to pass a test or tests, as the case may be, depending on your claims. So the reason that you will find that those sort of formulations tend to be more sticky is because in formulating them, you often find that you have to use solid actives. So these organic actives that are not liquids. Mm-hmm. And the first discovery you'll make is that you have to dissolve those actives in something. And the somethings that are the best tend to be fatty esters. So the materials that you're using may be emollients by nature, and particularly they are actually solvents, very good solvents. The raw material suppliers have good information online leading you to the most appropriate, I'll just say, solvent for the active. So in doing that, the proportions of the solvents tend to be at least 2 to 1 and sometimes much higher. So even with the most efficient solvent, you're going to have a lot of fatty ester. So these materials are oily by nature, and the challenge then is to make them less oily. So there are some more elegant materials around, but again, they have difficulties with the issue that as soon as you start playing around, you're tending to get the situation where you may get crystalline growth, and crystalline growth is the biggest killer of SPF. It's the most common issue I see with sunscreens that fail.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelly, you have any tips on reducing, say, tackiness or something in a sunscreen?
I think, it's the higher in SPF you're trying to go, the more challenge you have in creating an aesthetically pleasing formula, as kind of John noted. And so I think you want to experiment with your emollient choices and, ensure, of course, that what you're using isn't detrimental to your SPF. But to experiment with your options for emollients to help improve the aesthetics.
Absolutely.
There's a few other tricks you can try. Silica and modified silicas, which tend to absorb the oils without taking the active out of solution, and some of the modified starches, which are promoted for skin feel. But they tend to absorb the water phase, not the oil phase.
All right. Deborah's got a question here. I guess this is skincare formulating. What is the best safe preservative to use in skincare with essential oils? These best questions. I mean, I'm going to say use parabens, but okay. Anyone else?
I'm going to agree with you there. I think parabens are great and safe preservatives. I think when you're working with essential oils, probably your more primary concern would be, skin irritation or allergenicity from the essential oils. And a lot of that can be due to essential oils that are oxidized. So you want to be careful with that as well. As far as, then I would suggest, in addition to a preservative, you need an antioxidant as well. And here's a good point to note. I see sometimes people talk about antioxidants as preservatives. They are not microbial preservatives.
Right.
So if you're using vitamin E, it's not going to protect you from microbial contamination. That being said, BHA, BHT, TBHQ, they are antioxidants marketed by Eastman. They are phenolic in nature, and they may give you some additional support in microbial preservation of the product.
Yeah, it makes sense there. I think you could also try phenoxyethanol, benzyl alcohol. It really just depends on the system.
Yeah, because in the end, you're not really trying to preserve the essential oils. You're trying to preserve the water phase that's with them.
Exactly.
So I would support that. More important is antioxidants. Definitely to protect the oils. And vitamin E in different forms, tocopherol, wheat germ oil as it's called, helps greatly in that sort of environment as well, and for fixed oils.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend I don't wear glasses. All right. Now I might squint, though. Sorry. Here's a question from Justin. Justin says, what antioxidant and preservatives are effective for lotion formula containing a pearl powder?